The medium. Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium. Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium. Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium. Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium. Music is well kept, we medicate our ears. These rappers become the sale reps. We hypersexualize the naive, get them high and hide the intent in the BPM is the medium.
Fucking hell, room's lively today, innit? Wow, shout out to those that have been checking in. I'm seeing 7, I'm seeing 9, I'm seeing 12. Bro, what are you saying? Getting popular. What are you saying? We're getting some traction over here, mate. Once in a blue moon, but big up anyway. All right, let's get into this. All right, let's change this stuff here in the background. Got some additionals for Ricky Hatton. I'm going to quickly go over, but I'm not going to, sidebar stuff. I'm going to quickly go through what we had yesterday. Or I can do it the other way. If you want me to do the additional stuff first and then do, yesterday, the first bit, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. If you're not watching from the bushes, it is okay to put 1 in the chat. 2 for no or a 1 for yay. You want me to do additionals first, or I'll go over what we did yesterday, but no sidebarring. So it's going to be, quick thing, 5 minutes, 7 minutes tops. And then we'll get to the additional stuff for Ricky Hatton, which I should have did in yesterday's live stream transmission. Totally forgot. Remember we had the, what was it called? We had the court adjourn date. There was some adjourn date that we had to look at, which I've looked at obviously now. And then we've got a documentary that was on, what is it again? Sky TV. So it was on Sky 2023, 31st of August. So we're going to look at that date as well. Again, when this news broke yesterday, and I forgot to say in yesterday's stream, to be fair, I didn't even type it in at the time, so it wasn't even, you know what I mean, in my brain or even on a flipping screenshot. So it wasn't that I missed it, I just actually forgot to type the Hitman, because obviously that was one of his nicknames, he's got the People's Champ, and of course, Ricky the Hitman Hatton, yeah? And if you note the thumbnail or in the comments, but I'm going to say it now for this video, of course, because I did not say it in yesterday's video. That's why I changed the thumbnail yesterday and I added the yellow and blue writing. But anyway, it's 4 weeks. Hold on, let me get it up on my notes. Again, if you want the show notes up, let me know, because I don't like always putting stuff up, nobody's interested, or making a video for the visual, but nobody watches it. Because we get, our traction over here ain't good. The algorithm isn't in our favor. Fucking hell. Go and watch that short video from, I think you put out the other day. Somebody sent me the link, but I didn't look at the details. What's his name? Moist Critical. And he's got another name called Penwing Zero, with like the number zeros, Penguin Zero, something like that. But he showed what he's earned since day dot to now. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and that's just for people liking how he talks and his opinions on shit. And he's clearing how many meals? Doesn't mean he's a millionaire, but the amount he's made, crazy. Like crazy. I'll share the video on the wall, if anything, so you can check it out. It's only a quick video, 6 minutes, but he goes through his earnings from day dot to now, and even with the when he lost so many subscribers or whatever. And then it was still fucking nice, or got better with even less subscribers, something like that. I can't remember properly, but anyway, just watch that short video. Look at the earnings, yeah? Like 30, 50 mil. Again, these people like HS TikToky, this character, and whoever else, we do try and leave stuff over there, in their path, but if they're not going to pick it up so they can show also their subscribers, because they've got the outreach, what can we do, right? So anyway, I saw it go. Before we start, who's that in the chat? Yes Cable, what are you saying? Yes shout out to London, man. Cable says Ricky Hatton boxing, I read, has Masonic origins. Ricky Hatton. What do you mean, Ricky Hatton and boxing in general? Just like baseball. As I said, that's the square and compass. How they run around the square, blatantly the square and compass. All literally most games, right? It's, a lot of Freemasonic games. NFL, obviously, football. It's just almost sonicked out, man. Yeah. And these people don't care. Gotta go to the game now. I don't care if the UFC fight is scripted. Even when shown, they still don't care. They don't care about, how they will give you the movie Him, as I explained the other day, breaking down what I saw in Him. And then you're going to have all these, any content creator apart from somebody like myself, or maybe the truth is, even though the truth is ain't going to be adding the numerology, which is the extra cherry on top that you really need to understand, right? You're going to have, all of these review people. Oh, here, well, that film was rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Them times, it showed like the irony of the sacrifice and the people that get killed, like you have no idea, do you? These times people like over here, we've been studying it for ages, for a decent amount of time, it's like, come on, man. But as we know, the platform likes to hide comments. There's a whole rigmarole. We know that the algorithm isn't just targeting, because you're a truth seeker. No, they just want to just annoy certain people. Some people get lucky. That's what my man said. What's his name? Charlie. Moist Critical. That's his name, isn't it? Charlie, yeah. He said, look, man, I just got lucky, the algorithms and all of that. Listen, that's how it go. Yeah. So don't beat yourself up too much. Even Dr. Savage, if you happen to catch this transmission here, if you catch it, I messaged you the other day and said a specific thing, sympathizing obviously, because I know you're on a whole other level organically and noting, how things are lining up parallel, even with your own life, to what's going on with Donald Trump, this thing, that thing. You got Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica. My man's named Eric. I mean, give me a break. But obviously, more than that, when you see the numbers, just check out his post that he puts on his wall. But yeah, I understand obviously that you're going to get frustrated. So you've got algorithm shit, right? Or just crazy on purpose. And then even people in your own kind of vicinity, like, did you not see the posts he's been putting up? Did you not see any stuff from myself? Like, it's crazy. It's like, unless you say something in the comments of the live stream, you know what I mean? They may or may not even see you. Obviously, some of them's called or big you up because they're in there, or they catch you left a message, whether it's just a yes, nice video or stream, or if you've got additional notes to go with what they were saying. So big them up still for at least acknowledging. But then, when people's coming with certain levels, and when it comes to understanding this numerology stuff, right, on all its forms, so to speak, as best as we can. Again, we don't work with them, we're looking from the outside in, trying to get little crumbs and bits of the puzzle that we can gather up and say, yo, check this shit. Are we onto something there? And obviously you get a little, dare I use the word peer review. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? So obviously you get more back-ins from other colleagues in the field of study. But my point is, it's not good to just lock certain people off or don't ever give certain people shout outs. You know what I mean? Because obviously I don't know from Dr. Savage's angle that he's talking off fully, but obviously from, when he, may get peed off from time to time, it's like, wow, how comes nobody's seen this post? How comes I can't get in with certain clicks? I've been here from time. Boom, 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 boom. Because I left him a message the other day and I said, bro, maybe try and jump on somebody's podcast. Them lot got the roundtable, what's his name? Ball Don't Lie, and Decoding with Cody, and another great decoder that's come back. What's his name? Rambo. Yeah, big up Rambo. So I'm saying, well, why don't you jump in there maybe? You know what I mean? But as I'm saying, don't beat yourself up, man, because it's that same thing. Aside from algorithm and all of that other stuff, what I was just pointing out, which you already know, what's the other dubplate that I like to say over here? Not everybody's supposed to wake up. So my point is, you're always going to get some sentinel, some agent, like something, the diametrically opposed to you, yin and yang. I saw it go. So don't beat yourself up too much. Obviously, you're in your meat suit from time to time, like compulsory light blinking, or I need to eat, I need to piss, whatever it is. Obviously, you're still going to be subject to maybe whine and moan because you've got certain defaults that you can't fully erode away. You know what I mean? It might get you from time to time. So that's my point. Don't beat yourself up, man. Not everybody's supposed to wake up. Not everybody's supposed to be on a specific level where it's like, right, you know what? Everybody's shining. You know what I mean? Like my match, your match, everyone's candle. Nobody's here to blow out somebody's something. You know what I mean? Or make somebody try and belittle or go on some time and show. I didn't see that person's comment. Them times they more than likely saw it or they saw the one before. And then know somebody like Eric, aka Dr. Savage, he's on an amazing level. So this is my point. If people stop fucking, blocking, and many hands make light work, simple concept I always, championing. I've said that term how many times since I've made up the channel, yeah? Many hands make light work. Simple concept. And so why is it so hard? Well, it's all rhetorical, the conditioning, and it is what it is, yeah? So, yeah, man, don't beat yourself up, Eric, if you're out there. Right, quickly read these and then we'll get straight to this decode. Right, so yeah, Rambo, great decoder. That's coming from Cable. If anybody wants to join the stream, let me know as well. I will drop the link in there in the chat. Yes, Chris Holden. What are you saying? Hope you're doing good, man. Big ups for being about. Right, Cable says, all I can expose what's really going on and stay ahead of the shills and the sheep. Well, yeah, you can only do your best, you know what I mean? Only do your best, but as I say, as you move through, the chessboard, because we're not on checkers over here, or some fucking, basic Scrabble and Ludo, Sudoku combined, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're starting to kind of learn. I'm not saying we're fully adept at it, but, we're kind of learning and saying, oh, hold up, this is what's actually going on. All right, fucking hell. There's somebody boosting and amplifying in a distorted way the main code that's coming in from the cosmos. Is somebody, as I've been explaining, like a Fibonacci code or whatever you want to put on it, or even whether it's the cymatic version, cymatics, when you put the sound on a tile or something and you play this a song, or somebody could be, a tone range, whatever it is, yeah. And obviously you get the sacred geometry, and then going back to mitosis, as I always say, right? Throw off life, mitosis in the room. There's a code fucking playing out from the cosmos. So clearly what we're onto here with the numbers stuff, clearly that's part of it, yeah? Like, fuck. We're going to go too extra here, but if you're not up to speed, there is plentiful, hospitality on the playlist. There's some good playlists there, so you can just drill home one story or a type of scenarios. All those type of people that off themselves, or, terrorism, Malayakbar, whatever it is, you know what I mean? All the normal people that's not from the limelight, and then, all right, let me start digging into those that are from the limelight, whether it's Bollywood, fucking K-pop stars, fucking Hollywood or Hollywood, you know what I mean? And there's no way that you shouldn't be able to form and see clear patterns that's in front of you, yeah? So again, don't ever let people put you down and say, oh, it's apophenia, you need to take your medication. Oh no, you're a fucking crazy person, oh, you're loony. Just because that sports result didn't come through, or just because that forecast didn't come through, what I mean, this is all stupid, because you can't bet with it or the lottery. Like, are these people stupid? Know the diamond in the rough, And shout out to the community, whether you speak or not, just us in a whole. I think we've done a decent job in the years that we've been here to, put it like, show like a template style of X, Y, Z, and just keep showing it. Because remember, nature is all cyclic, it's all orbits, patterns, etc. Right? So, anyway, let me to sidebar there, but I saw it go. It goes on to say, only now people turning on Trump. Listen, they all need to be turned on, or basically just ignore them. That is the key one to do. Understand, upgrade your thought process with understanding and introspection of self and environment and all that stuff. And also, like all those, that stuff I've been watching, I said to you, the police interrogations, body cam, monster Netflix, yeah? Once you do that type of checklist with the psychopathological analysis, right? Then You look at the environment, and who's the ones fucking up, spraying chemtrails, mocking us every minute, killing people, rituals, this thing, that thing. So you got to say to them, wow, yeah, why would you want to spray your environment? Then talk about, they tell you about cheeky bastards. They want to tell you about, your carbon footprint. Oh, it's getting too hot. We need to cool it down. And then people are so into their phones or head up their ass. People like myself, we've noticed the change. There was normal clouds past 15 years ago, and then now it's like, what the fuck is that? That is some fucking, you know what I mean? Spider fucking cobweb, crazy crisscross madness going on in the sky. It's like, that ain't fucking normal, you know? So that's all I'm saying, man. As I've said a million times. If you take that rule of thumb, psychopathological analysis, right, and just look at who's controlling the people, playing them off, they play all sides. The people on, normal people, they don't know what's going on. They give you drips and drabs of what we talk about with the numerology, but I guarantee if this was some major thing on New York Post or fucking Daily Star, without them maybe trying to put a joke on it, or what they do with Zach, a number games with Zachary K. Hubbard when he was in Vice magazine, even though they was bigging him up, they still done a little one. Oh, it's just a crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, really? You lot take the piss. Let's see what you did there. Yeah? It's like, how are you not seeing this? So that's when you know all the ideology and what runs industries, where's it coming from? Voila. There's some order that's, infiltrated and going through it all. To manipulate, leech and suck, energy vampire. You get me? That's their sustenance, keep you misery, doom and gloom. Don't know if there's going to be a power cut today, tomorrow. You might be able to work it out with some gematria though. You know what I mean? Or the next C19. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. Had the world not been ahead of the ball like we were seeing around the corner, saying, wow, look like they're going to do something on, every 19 years. It was 19 hijackers on 9/11, war on drugs before that, and yada, yada, yada. And then, obviously they do stuff in between, but they like to do significant things, to really break the fabric of your reality. So while they poke and prod you between that time, they just fuck around with you. Like, think about right now, since COVID-19, remember, every 19 years, chaos equals 19. So imagine, just look at the last 4 years. So remember, that 19 years from the 19 hijackers and the Twin Towers, that was 2011. 19 years later, 2020, bam, COVID-19, chaos equals 19. So my point is, just look at the smidge of what's been happening since 2020 with all the poking and prodding of how they're just fucking with your brain. Think about it. Think about all the mockery, hook, line, and sinker, treat you like you're dumb in a bazillion ways by the myriad. And it's now, this time more than ever, it's so obvious to see. And that's what makes it so crazy. Give me last 30 seconds, I promise. But this is what makes it so crazy. Because as more clear as it is to see, with all the info out there, obviously you have to, have some type of filtering system, so you're not just, taking in garbage and believing everything that you come across, whether you think it's the truth or not. But my point is, you've got to be mindful and vigilant. My point is, look how blatant it is now. As I've said before, this is not 50 years ago. Big blood clot internet, info at your fingertips, and you mean to tell me this information, along with other information, obviously not just the numerology, but obviously side by side, how is this not common knowledge? So again, it goes to show you how fucked up, again, the mind control, the creators, moist critical, this one, that one. How the flying fuck I show speed. Man will go live and it will have, 250,000, 500,000 in his live stream. You can't even keep up with the writing, and it's on slow mode. Yeah? That's how fast that shit moves when you go on his thing. It's like, rapid. Yo, imagine Kaisana. And then you realize all these people have already sold out. They've all done little rituals, humiliation rituals, showering literally naked. You had Ray J, if you know Ray J, the guy that stepped with Kim Kardashian, the singer Brandy's brother, if you know the singer Brandy. I know what you did last summer, the movie as well. And the latest one, you know what? I was watching it online on the site, and you know what? couple of weeks later, I caught the fucking the extra bit. And I'm sure it was a proper copy, but I just stopped it, thinking, oh, it's probably not extra bit. Oh, I saw it on YouTube. Fucking hell. What's her name? Jennifer Love Hewitt. Knox, what's her? Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Close the ears, come back in 10 seconds. But anyway, Love Hewitt goes to Brandy's house. And they're basically saying, all right, it's on then. So they're probably going to do a part 2. If I know what you did, you know what I can't wait for? Ready or Not with Samara. What's her name? Samara Weaving. Oh, I need that one. That should be out next year. Ready or Not 2. If you know that movie, when she's the bride. All right. Good movie. I personally liked it. The woman that can't manage her weapons. I don't want to do any spoilers, so I ain't gonna say anymore. Right, let's get to this decode. So 4 weeks and this the one? 4 weeks and 4 days, right? So again, Ricky Hatton, he died September 9th. Sorry, September 14th from championship, 14/9, and 33 days later, or the alternative span is 4 weeks, 4 days, or 4 weeks, 5 days, if you include the end date. But anyway, Ricky equals 33. And again, remember, if it is nefarious activities concerning the you-know-who's, the Jesuit order, aka Society of Jesus, that runs the whole show. Again, Masonry, secrecy, police people, order, society, all equal 33. Ricky 33, yeah. One moment here, let's go through these notes quickly. Make sure I'm not missing nothing. When we get to the new bits, and remember yesterday when the news broke on 10th of October, for this update news, which was yesterday, because today's the 17th of October. But anyway, remember yesterday it had a numerology of 71 and a life lesson of 35. Remember, boxing equals 35 and 71. I think it was boxer 71. So boxer 71, boxing 71, boxing 35. Also, they say he commits suicide, because that was the big update for yesterday with the news. Commit suicide equals 71. Yeah? So just keep that in mind, keep it moving. Again, this is what we show you a bazillion times over why this information is so important. Because if it wasn't important, why do you think they'd be utilizing once they cottoned onto, oh wow, the dynamics of the realm and the word of God, so to speak, and fusing the letter and the number and the cymatics and all of that stuff, because words create worlds. That's why the pen is mightier than the sword. Hence in the Bible, let's go down and confuse them with language. Again, old name for God in Hebrew is tetragrammaton, chi-part grammar, linguistics, language, grammar, tetragrammaton. God speaks the world into existence over numbered days. Yeah, was it? The word is with and the word is God. I can't remember how it goes. You know what I'm trying to say, right? This is all powerful stuff. It's not them just, oh yeah, they're fucking, doing what they've been doing from before riding on horseback in medieval times, even though it's still kind of medieval times in one sense. But what are you saying? You think they was doing that for fun? Raping and pillaging and doing a whole bag of fuckery. What are you saying? You think they're doing that for fun? Fuck it up. You saying Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah? Anyway. Also, is it Boxer 26? Yeah, Boxer 26. I didn't say that yesterday. Daily numerology 26, of course, 10 and 16. Okay, Boxer equals 26. And we'll quickly add up the, because it is an audio transmission today. So we'll quickly, do the life lesson. 10 at 16, 2 at 0, 2 at 5, 35. That was the life lesson for yesterday. And if you add up the numerology, or one of the ways you do the numerology, because there's a few different ways, but this specific one to get 71, 10 at 16, 20 at 25, right? So October 16th, 2025. Split it up, add it up, 71. Boxing and boxer 71. Again, boxer 35, life lesson 35. And I'm pretty sure we had a 35 on. We're going to get to the date duration in a moment. Just going through the slides for yesterday before I get to the new stuff. But remember, he dies at 46, because this is going to come back around in a bit as well. So remember, he dies at 46. The word fighter, again, he was a boxing fighter, right? He fought in boxing. Fighter, the word fighter equals 46. And remember, in Genesis 4:6, it begins with a sacrifice. And for those new here, I'll quickly say as well, give me 7 seconds, 10 tops. Once you start doing the study, you start to realize how the words are pigeonholed. So all the chill type words, delete, found dead, collapse, destroy, killing, Masonic, English, gematria, all equal 38. Some of them 83. But my point is, just like, the suicide, right? Just like that word, the deletion, self-deletion word. Or words like welfare, mood swing, you will find 47s, 119, yeah? All over the gaff. With all those type of words under that, in that pigeonhole, you know what I mean? In that section under the umbrella of those type of words, or words to do with knife, you'll see all the same type of. So that's why once you get used to it, and then you realize, wow, all those type of numbers follow those type of people, or things you like or dislike, and then you realize, so then if somebody has messed with the frequency and the way they've created industry, not in our benefit, but the time is that they do stuff, wars, the latest music video, Netflix shows, new little news bulletin, whatever, along with, the organic side of just things just happening naturally. You're like, wow, what's that? Wow, that person in Luton, he stabbed up his parents, he was into, The Walking Dead, blah, blah. Or you had Eliana in Croydon, and you see, wow, how all the numbers to do with their situation, how they've got all the specific numbers. It's amazing. So that's what I'm saying. Is, they're obviously like an almighty that's obviously, you're just living out a script, man, playing out your role. But obviously some people come online whilst they're in their meat suit, while they've come on their vacation, somebody like myself, somebody like Dr. Savage, and others alike, and you start to realize, and especially as I keep saying to you, it's so blatant in your face. That's what makes it even more crazy as the bystander, even remotely having an inkling to what's going on. It's like, wow, look how obvious it is. And the people still don't get it. Still voting. They still, just don't, as I say, put a knot in the metaphorical pipeline. So they just can't leech your energy, man. Just ignore these fuckers. But obviously there needs to be enough people. That goes for, as I say, police, army. Like, when's enough, man? They spray the skies, they poison the food, bullshit education, cookie cutter bullshit, make your brain mushy, build you back up. And then you got all these cognitive dissonant cunts that think they know it all. Again, better take your meds, audio oracle. You're chatting shit. He was a crazy person. What's he talking about? And some of them actually have the diligence in them, too. Oh yeah, he's actually chatting shit, but I'm just going to be a shithead cunt anyway, because that's how my programming is. You know what I mean? Whether they know or don't know. You know what I mean? Because you got different levels of being, online in your consciousness and such delights. Oh shit, Chris said something. Let me segue to the what's it called quickly. Right, what's this one? Been telling them on other platforms he's a puppet. Oh yeah, that was back to your Trump statement from Cable. Chris says, what's the time here? How long ago was that? Oh, 3 minutes ago. Good. At least it went 20 minutes. And sometimes I'll be chatting, I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm just going into it, so I'm just chatting. Anyway, Chris Holding says, they are good at what they do. What type of calculator system do they have compared, for example? Oh, right. Yeah, of course. I mean, they're working on a few different systems, right? No doubt. Because again, they've been mapping the stars heavily. The stars is the time, the stars is the clock. While you're on the stationary plane, you've got the clock. Of course, you got the, small hand, big hand, sun and the moon, whatever, or whatever it's supposed to go. If I said it wrong, you know what I'm saying, right? The perfect timepiece that will go on for infinity. And that's why, if you didn't realize, the sun and the moon, if you get a time lapse of the sun and the moon, they both make the figure 8. As I always point out, 88, like Back to the Future. You got Donnie Darko. Funny enough, Trump, I'm sure, equals 88. And you get how many minutes in a day? 1,440. And then 4 circles make up 88. And of course, 8 is the infinity symbol. But my point is, 360 times 4 equals how many minutes you have in a day. If you're out time, equals 144, like 1,440 minutes in a day. Again, drop the 0, voila, time equals 144. So again, this place is, perfectly made. You're not whizzing through the cosmos. You wouldn't see the same fucking stars with all the hurtling, corkscrewing, slowing, speeding up 2,000 plus miles an hour because they say you're allegedly on an elliptical orbit. Really? Like, where is this all taking place? Where is it taking place? Because I'm happy to concede and be like, wow, do you know what? It ain't what I thought it was. Oh shit, we are hurling, blah, blah, blah. And they'll want to talk about, oh, well, if you're on a train or you're in a plane, yeah, you're inside the vehicle. How about outside? And add all the corkscrewing, you're orbiting the sun allegedly 66.6 thousand miles an hour on an elliptical orbit that speeds up and slows down. Then you're allegedly chasing the sun, going in whatever direction, corkscrewing the sun, yeah? So you're in the corkscrewing solar system, chasing the sun via the sun's gravity, aka gravity. Really? That's all going on? Wow. All right. Interesting. Or you lot just chatting shit? Because that's why that was one of the key things to take you off your spiritual equilibrium was if they can get you with that. That's why I always say, of course they're going to get you with 9/11. They're going to get you think it was a man in a cave. Them times they ran fucking how many training exercises and TV shows showing you 9/11's coming, WWF, you had Hulk Hogan and his crew, and the other one, the demolition. You had all these names. Yo, this is how crazy this shit is, and that's why I keep saying, when is enough enough? Going back to the movie stuff before I segue back to the Ricky Hatton, but this is just for anybody new listening. So I've said this time and time again. It's not me just trying to ramble or make a video for clicks. It's like, okay, if people are clearly, people that make The Simpsons, they're not got no fucking magic ball. Oh yes, I'm in a crystal ball. Oh yes, Trump's going to be wearing that type of suit on an escalator or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? For whatever scenario. Like, really? No, these people are clearly brainwashing you. And then before you realize it, you're going to read it in the news. Oh yeah, The Simpsons. Oh, they look like they predicted it. And then you've got all these arseholes. Oh yes, The Simpsons. Really? Really? How about when in Terminator 2, when the boy's getting chased, right? And Arnold, the good Terminator, is trying to catch him up. And then when he catches him up, what does my man crash into? He says, caution, 9/11, because the bridge is too low. So my point is, what are you saying? Shouldn't people like James Cameron, some of the actors, why aren't you in jail? Why are you assisting in the makeup of keeping the people dumb and docile and in a trance and transfixed? But you can only be, we're ramping around. Go Leo and Trinity, oh yes. Get the codes. Yes, go on. But you lose your vigor and you've got nothing for the real fight. Well, I'm at Speaker's Corner in London chatting shit. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what? Yo, that's how crazy it is. But yeah, guarantee you, they definitely got, other times that they're working on. They map the cosmos very well. Of course, I'm talking about to pressing his question on the screen. And yeah, just segueing around, man, with the talk as you do. There's a few bodies here, man. Usually I'll fire up, there's nobody about. But don't be, sometimes if you want me to hurry up, I don't mind, acknowledging the request. So anyway, the family had a brief 10-minute inquest, going back to Ricky Hatton now with the boxing stuff. They had a brief 10-minute inquest hearing on Thursday morning, right? But his family didn't attend. So that must have been last week. No, sorry, it must have been yesterday. That was yesterday, because yesterday it just came out with the news. But his family didn't attend. It was adjourned until the 20th of March. So we'll look at any date till the 20th of March for next year. See if we've got anything to lock in with that. Yeah, and it's called the Hitman. Yeah, and it's called Hitman. The Hitman, yeah? The assassin, Charlie Kirk. And I'm sure you're up to scratch, up to speed with the stuff that Decoding with Cody's been putting out. And that's another thing. Same thing I was saying before. Like, you know, it's weird when how the fuck can I not go to Zach's timeline or catch him in a video, or as I say, catch him a mirror video or on his wall? Again, I don't know if he does stuff in other places, but I don't know if he's back on Twitter or anything like that, because I know he had his channel got deleted, his little patch on Twitter, X, whatever. But my point is, Cody's done some great work. You might not be, you know, friends with fucking some of those that might be around that way there. You know, you got Jason, no, not Jason, what's his name? Joseph Agagriva, you know the one, 2222. Or whoever the case may be, but there's a time, man. Just put it up, shut up, put your fucking ego and pride down a little bit, everybody, and fucking let's do this thing. I should be able to go over and find the fucking playlist that you can come to me, playlist. Not just my stuff in there, obviously. You're going to find other creators, other stuff, you know what I mean? The shit you need. Just like Dr. Savage, Decoding with Cody, doing great, amazing work. How can I go to fucking Zach's fucking channel and you can't even find a post from him? Huh? That's how you know, man. You need to pull the finger out. You can't be going on about, oh, yes, truth seeker, and this and that and that. Don't get me wrong, you're doing a great job in certain aspects. I'll never fault you on certain aspects. Maybe some other ones, yeah, other ones I don't even care about, to be fair, because at the end of the day, the world should be waking up by now and there wouldn't be no scripted sports to be worried about. So whether he's giving out shit dibby pics or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, you still got to kind of work it for yourself, and it's kind of, that's the gamble of it, you know what I mean? Even if he's going to say, oh, a sure thing, or you might be on an either or, it could be that team or that team. At the end of the day, if the world woke up, how the fuck it should, you know, I'd love it to wake up, but it's never going to happen, as I've been pointing out. That's why I've got, you know, as I say, I put these out for that, but I know it's never going to happen. As soon as I found this information in 2016, I said, oh, they have to wake up now, surely. And it's nearly 10 years since. 2026 is when I found this information. I mean, 10 years ago, 2016. Unbelievable. And it's only gotten worse, and it's more obvious to see what's going on. And now we can even fucking forecast the news or let you know why the news is what the news is on a given day. Or organic stuff. Again, my granddad died. He's never been in the news. My granddad died. He was a pastor all of his life, pastor for church, you know, Christian. Bam. His October birthday, he died 7 months and 3 days from his birthday. Did I say he was a pastor all of his life? Pastor equals 73. Hello? He dies May 5th. God equals 55. His name equals 26. God equals 26. Man created on the 26th verse of the Bible. Anatomy, bones, grave, and graveyard. You know, those type of words, if you find, you'll find that they equal 26. And remember, on American money, it says in God we trust. Bank and dollar equals 26. I think there's something to this, people. All right? Fucking hell. So again, I'm just here to maybe try and get a witness, or even if there's no witness, I'm just at least just putting it out there, and I'm just saying what I see. I'm not dressing anything up. I'm not, you know, doctoring a picture with, oh, I want it to be that number and a numerical value, and oh, you know, that wasn't the name of the street. Let me change the spelling. No, that's not what we do. Not any, you know, genuine decoder. You know, and as I always say, I ain't shit. So that allows my glass to always, you know, keep filling on a level. You know, it's never less than half, and it's never more than half, so to speak. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's pouring in. Even though there's little sounds there, you know, little spots where it's pouring out, but it's just filling up perfectly, as much as getting released through the little holes at the bottom of the glass, so to speak. Yeah. So, again, 4 weeks, 4 days. Remember, Fighter and Sacrifice 46. And was it the People's Champ? Oh man, hold up. Let me go forward here. It was on the newer bits. Hold up here. Wow, it's already 45 minutes. God damn. So me chitty chatty. No, I'm joking. That's got some time, you know. But I've got some sexy lunch, fucking sexy afters looking at me. I said, you know what? Let me do this first, because if I do the munch and start running the zoo, I'm gonna be like, oh, can I even be asked? Who cares? Nobody's watching. But surprisingly, fucking fired up the channel, firing on the pistons, and there was people in there instantly. So shout out to you guys and girls, whoever you are, all colours and creeds, much love. What's this one say? Is it on the screen? Then the Manchester attack near where he was. Oh, right. Yeah, I feel ya. Yeah. And all the, as I say, all the numbers with that situation, the Manchester synagogue got numbers for that, additionals from, not the same as what Cody put out. Just my usual stuff where it would just show you, whatever it was going on, whether they had a bomber jacket on, a suicide vest or whatever, you will see, the numbers match his name and the numbers match blah, blah, blah. And, or you can start, tracking and doing references from other events and, the last time and blah, blah, blah. What was the last madness in Manchester? Or, let me check from Ariana Grande with the, the Manchester Arena, and you start mapping around and, you start to find 8, 9 times out of 10, the parallels. And is somebody behind it or is it all organic? Because clearly there's a lot of nefarious madness. So... Right, when they've got to go back to the inquest that they didn't go to yesterday on the Thursday, right? They've got to go back next year, 20th of March. 20th of March. That day has a life lesson, numerology of 69, life lesson 33. Ricky equals 69 and 33. Life lesson 33. 3 and 20, 2 and 0, 2 and 6 equals 33. Remember this update with this information of how he died, because nobody knew that it was allegedly, he deleted himself until yesterday. That was the breaking news. But yeah, 33 days. And they said he was found hanged. Remember the alternative span is 4 weeks, 5 days. Found hanged equals 45. Again, the Hitman, that was his nickname. That equals 44. Oh my God. And you know what? I'm going to kind of flip-flap all over the gaff now. I'm going to kind of just do the additional stuff because I'm here. And I'll go back to the older stuff. But anyway, or I'll just be crisscrossing around. But anyway, boom. When that show came out, the documentary, I think it was called Hatton, right? So you can look it up, Google it, and you'll find the official one from Sky, right? 31st of August, 2023. What's the life lesson for that? 8 and 31, 2 and 0, 2 and 3 equals 46. That's fucking wild. Considering he dies at 46. Remember, fighter equals 46. Quickly going back to the 44s. If you write out, remember the Hitman equals 44. If you write out Ricky Hatton, that equals 144. And if you write out 44, you get 144. And from, if you do that show on the annual, right, so do it in the same year. Remember, we just had the life lesson of 46. Give me 1 second here, because there's a 46 I should have. There's another 46 floating around. Hold up, let me get it. Anyways, 46 days, right? If you do it in the same year from that documentary called Hatton, I think it was called Sky Documentaries. And you got 46 days. So again, in 2023, you had the life lesson of 46. Remember, sacrifice and fighter equals 46. Alternative span is 6 weeks and 4 days. Boxer or boxing is 64. All right, what was the other 46 I had? Ah, the hitman equals 44 and 46. Oh, come on. Wow. Them dub plays. Those dub plates, man. And remember, scripted sports equals 201 and 177 for those up to speed. You know where those go. All right. And the day's got to go back next year with the inquest. 20th of March. Remember the 6933, life lesson 33, numerology 69. It's got a. It's the 79th day of the year, murder 79. If he was, well, you could still say though he murdered himself. Obviously, you can say it that way. And was he born in 97? No, not born in 97. What was I talking about? Hold up. I had something on the slide here. Hold up. Give me a second here. Is his birthday October 6th, right? It's 201 days from his birthday. Sorry, or do it from the day he's got to go back to the inquest. 20th of March, 2026. Not that the year matters, but it's just so it's in the same year, right? To October 6th. Interesting. 201. Not saying he wasn't in scripted sports, but you know. Again, 201, the Jesuit order 201. And I'm sure Ricky Hatton equals, what was it his full name? Hold on. 67? Yeah, Richard Hatton, because his actual name is Richard Hatton, aka Ricky Hatton. Yeah. Anyway, remember Freemasonry, blood sacrifice, and human sacrifice 67. His name equals 67. And you've got 6 months, 7 days from the death day when he died, 40th of September, to when they got to go back to the inquest, 20th of March. And the day he died is the 257th day of the year. Blood sacrifice also equals 257. So 67 and 257. Interesting. Found hanging 51. Remember, found hanged 45. Remember the date duration, 4 weeks, 4 days. 4 weeks, 5 days. We went over the 44 and the 45 enough already, so I'm not going to say that again. But yeah, found hanging equals 51. And the day of the March situation, the inquest, when I got to go back, it had the numerology of 51 in there as well. Give me 1 second there. Done that already, didn't we? So I'm just making sure. Alright, I think it's food time. As I say, just catch part 1 if you want to get, so go much more, extra. And say stuff over and over. That's what happens, man. When you're learning, you gotta practice makes perfect, so to speak. Just treat it like knowing phone numbers or just attaching something with something. You know what I mean? With an object or a theme or something, and then two twos. You're like, oh yeah, Ricky 33, Magic 33, Police People Order Society 33. Like you won't forget it once you know it. You know what I mean? But I think people just get a little bit overwhelmed. And, oh, what's this stupid numbers? Or again, I'm not no mathematician. I'm not good at maths or anything like that. It's just basic, rudimentary arithmetic. You know what I mean? It's like it's not hard. Again, this information does get taught, but not in the curriculum. Excuse me. Unless maybe you get to a certain sorority or frat, the frats fraternity, Alpha Psi Pi, or whatever the fuck they're called, Sigma Pi Phi, all these fucking names, the Boule. Yeah. Remember, they're learning it, they're studying it. Again, if you think they don't use it for stock market and all this other stuff, gold or whatever else, you know what I mean? Think again, mate. Definitely gets used there. Remember, they're not going to give you the spare tip or make you the spare tip with specific knowledge, so you can wake up and you're not going to be out there whim and beck and call without even thinking about it. Save me! Thank you, government. Save me. Digital ID. Yes. Digital money. Yes. One government. Yes. Baphomet. Yes. Thank you. I want it. I want. Yes. That fucking hell, man. Problem, reaction, solution. Hegelian dialect. Going back to language again. Dialect, language. Did I mention tetragrammaton? Hello. So, as I say, don't beat yourself up. Right, I think I'm gonna call it. Anything else? I'll quickly put it in the whatchamacallit, comments or the description, as I usually do. If something comes to my mind after, shit, I forgot to say that, or I might find something as soon as I close it, punch something in and start looking around. I'm like, oh my god. As I start eating my munch, I'm like, oh my god. Pupil dilation, jaws dropped. I'm like, oh my god. People's Champ 51, go figure. Remember, that's his other nickname, right? Ricky Hatton, other nickname is People's Champion, or People's Champ, excuse me. Again, condolences, of course, to those battling, with certain mindsets and mind types. Definitely may catch me here and there. Maybe it's hard to explain because it's still dark, but it's a different kind of dark. Not as dark as it used to be, but it's a different kind of dark, if that makes sense. That's what I would say for myself. But then it's the realization of, I'm just in my meat suit. I can only do and say so much. If they don't want a mini hands might light work, just observe. I know what I'm seeing. Because people are so beaten to a pulp and they've got no sensory. It's like they've got, what would it be? Sensory deprivation or something. Like they've got no senses left. You know what I mean? Like they're so beaten to a pulp, they have no sensory indication. Like a fucking, internal beacon. Do you know what I mean? Like a car sensor or something. Shit, beep, beep. They're mocking ya. Hello, wake up. I see that one. Yep, thank you. Mind's eye. Because they've got so much sleep gunk in their mind's eye and physical eyes. Oh, well. As I say, if you got water and oil and I put that in a bottle, the one I usually say before I quickly get out of there. You know the one, right? different minerals, sand, whatever, milk, water, oil. I say, yeah, you're in the realm of earth. Obviously, you're going to get different vibration states of different realms all together. Just that you can't see the other realm, but it's there, right there. Yeah. Well, my point is, don't expect everybody to wake up, and this place is the sorting ground. So again, everything has its place. You know, gas, water, ice, vapor. Yeah. Different states, vibration, different states of being. Everything has its place. And my point is, when you come back in half an hour after shaking that tube up with all the stuff in it, you know, different minerals, weights and measures, you know, metals and whatever, oil, water, milk, yeah, everything knows to go back to its place. So if you vibrate higher, whilst you're in your counterpart body at the minute, just tune in if you can. And again, always remember, not everybody's supposed to wake up. The almighty consciousness wants to experience the full dynamic simultaneously so it can get the full range. Then it can help itself to wake up to get to other realizational states quicker. Yeah, that's the whole point. Well, one of the points. Obviously, you know, there's other stuff going on simultaneously, but yeah. You're part of the fucking all spark. So it's not, oh yes, you're meant to cower and oh, rapture's coming, Jesus or Allah Akbar. No. No. That's all to just lock you in to some, you know, mixed and remixed. I'm not saying there's not some stuff you can live by, philosophize by, you know, all that type of stuff. Great, fantastic. But no, these books, these prolific books out there, definitely being manipulated by the numbers, you know. The amount of by the numbers that's in the Bible, give me a break. I mean, really? All the slavery stuff, all the other stuff, you know. So yeah, man. Dr. Sav and whoever else, and even to me, don't beat yourself up. Don't watch the algorithm. I don't care if you like the video, don't share the video. You know, I can only do and say so much. All right, wholeness. All right, I'll play a quick one from me. Not going to play it all. Get the fuck out of here. It's a quick flyby.
I love music and I respect it so much. Music can't afford me. You know, I'm not looking at the charts. I'm not competitive. I'm not looking at who's hot, who's not, who's on, you know. It's just not money motivated. It's, oh man, you're gonna be irrelevant if you don't drop, you know, sooner than later. And so I get in the studio at this point when I really feel it. I love music and I respect it so much. respected so much. Music can't afford me. You know, I'm not looking at the charts. I'm not competitive. I'm not looking who's hot, who's not, who's on, you know. It's just not money motivated. Not, it's, oh man, you're going to be irrelevant if you don't drop, you know, sooner than later. And so I get in the studio at this point when I really feel it. I love music.
You know, you think you've been hearing these dub plates.
Where have you been all my life?
All right, last one from me and by me. Once again, you're done though, yeah?
Cover me with your tongue. Never wanted anything so much. If you're not there, there's no luxury worth living. If you're not there, there's nothing worth giving. I've had everything going on. I've had everything going on. I've had. We can find it here. If we're dreaming, then this is so it feels so real. I'm hoping that we can align. I'm hoping you're not just a figment of mine. 'Cause if you're not there, where have you been all my life? You are the color in black and white. Cover me with your tongue.
And do remember, make sure you have a good weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever you're up to. Much love and wholeness to you and yours, and high vibrations each and every time.
If you're not there, there's nothing worth giving. I've had everything going on. Where have you been all my life? Cover me with your tongue.